Hi, I'm Kristin Oviedo, and this is the formula for the sum of the squares of consecutive odd integers. So I know that that's a really intimidating title, but if we just kind of dissect that sentence one by one over here on the chalkboard, we can break it down and figure out a pretty simple way to solve it. So let's start with the phrase consecutive odd integers. An integer is just a whole number, so I've got a bunch of whole numbers written here. The odd ones are this, 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 and this. And consecutive just means the two odd numbers that are next to each other or closest to each other on the number line. So 1 and 3 are consecutive odd integers, 3 and 5, 5 and 7, and so on. So we could assign two variables, one for this one for that one, but we can just make it a lot easier on ourselves by calling the first, the lower odd integer n, and we'll call the next one n plus 2. Because if they're consecutive, they're always going to be two spaces apart on the number line, so no matter what n you choose, n plus 2 will always be the next consecutive odd integer. So we've got them right here. So the formula was for the sum of the squares of the consecutive odd integers. So we're going to square each of these. Really easy, and I can't just write a square there, so I have to put this in parentheses and square that. Cool, they're squared. Now we're going to add them. And it's a formula, so it's going to have an equal sign. And then this will be some number that you will probably be given. So we'll just call it a Greek letter, just for fun. I get tired of using x sometimes. So this is going to be a simple quadratic equation, so we're going to expand this term out, put the n2 over there, so this is going to be n squared plus 4n plus 4, and then combine like terms. Cool, we can factor out a 2 here, and a 2. So we've got a simple quadratic equation that has two variables, one of which you should be given, so it actually wouldn't be a variable, it'd be a constant. So if they're going to ask you to find this, you'll be given one of these numbers, and you just figure out the other one by plugging and chugging. We can't go any further without knowing this value, but if you were given that value, and you should be, essentially you would just subtract your constant, factor out, you would get two answers for n, and you would just pick the most logical one, or you could just test it out using both of them in your original equation. I'm Kristin Oviedo, and that is the formula for the sum of squares of consecutive odd integers.